everybody, what's up? The energy that we're starting off with is the moon and the Empress, and with this can be like some time of tuning in and some time of self-discovery that can be happening. With the moon, it can be unexplored territory that we want to explore, and with the Empress, this can be maybe you finding out that there are things that you like that you're not aware of liking. Or this can be like interests that maybe you haven't explored yet that you can be exploring. The Empress is going to have to do with your tastes. So it will be things that you like, things that you're good at, things that would feel good to be a part of and involved in. And so this can be like an expansion of those things. With Pisces and Venus, there can be an exploration of art, of film, of music, of anything that would stimulate the senses or the imagination, among other things. So yeah, like you can be tapping into something, maybe feeling more creative or more imaginative, because Pisces very much thrives when it's connected with the energy of Venus. And we are also seeing the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck. So yeah, this can be like an expansion of some sort where you can be learning, you can be growing, you can be advancing upon something. But I see this being like stuff about yourself and what resonates with you in 3D that you may not have. It can be like, maybe I always knew that I liked this thing, but I never gave myself the chance to explore it. It can be something like that. So it can be stuff that you come upon that ends up maybe being like your favorite stuff in this era of your life that you're going to be connecting with, where you're like, I didn't realize that this was going to be so special or so important to me. And you can even find, Venus can be abilities and gifts and talents that we have. You can even find things that you end up being really good at with this type of energy. Just if you let yourself explore that sort of thing. This can also be something that you're learning about, maybe doing more low key as well, just because it's behind the moon. Like it can be maybe something in your downtime that you're doing. Yeah, some of you guys, I'm seeing stuff about exploring hidden talents that you have. Let's talk about what Pisces is connected with. As far as Venus is concerned, Pisces can be anything where there's imagination, anything where there are visuals or pictures. Because Pisces is less of a like straight on direct, it can be imagery, like the way that we have photography, film, pictures. It will be like very poetic language. So it will be things having to do with that. But I do see like maybe some tie having to do with mental health awareness, even, that can be connected with this, because I'm seeing Three of Swords go underneath the moon. So yeah, there can be like stuff about wellness, stuff about healing, stuff about spirituality, stuff about, it can be mental health, can be physical health, but there can be something here that's being addressed. I see you working with it. Any type of art, Pisces can be connected with like art therapy, that type of thing as well. We have Virgo and we also have Pisces. These two are sister signs with one another, and they are the health and wellness and spirituality access. So yeah, Yeah, I wonder if you guys, there's something happening where you can be like healing your mental health in some way. Mental health, emotional health, stuff having to do with psychology too, Pisces can be connected with. The moon can also be connected with the past in general. I wonder too for some of you guys if you're getting like some assessment of your health. Just because of seeing Virgo and Pisces here, because we now have the energy of Virgo here, there can be something with physical health. But you know, Pisces is connected with, what is Pisces connected with? Pisces is connected with autoimmune. Pisces is connected with the lymphatic system. Pisces is connected with, it's like, you know, the energy of Pisces is connected with stuff that we haven't like gotten all of the information on either. If we're talking about like illnesses and whatnot, it's like, how much do we really know about autoimmune? You know, like how much does the public know about that? How much of that information is even mainstream? So it's the stuff that kind of ties into like energy and energy work that can also be connected with Pisces and having Virgo here. There can be stuff about the relationship between what's going on internally and how that is manifesting physically and what's going on with that. And maybe some of you guys, you're looking into this. I just see somewhere that you're looking into that is like information that you may not have, stuff that maybe you're not aware of, stuff that maybe publicly there isn't a lot of information about it, but that you can be looking for answers. Some of you guys, Pisces can also be connected with mystery things. So it can be like some mystery health thing that you've been dealing with, or like a mystery illness that you're like, what is the cause of this? Where is this coming from? You know, there can be something like that that's being looked into. It doesn't have to like go down that route, but I feel like that's a good example for a way that this can manifest archetypally speaking. Like it can be you realizing some issue, like maybe it's like some emotional thing that's been being held onto, and this can impact your health. Yeah, I get like a lot of health centered stuff here. Some of you guys, something with the blood too, that can be something that's going on. I see some realization that you can be having. Like maybe you're unpacking something and you're like, I've been holding on to this for a really long time, or I was affected by this, but I didn't realize that that was impacting this over here. Like Pisces is also about making connections and understanding the relationship between things, where with the energy of Pisces, why it can be difficult to figure out what's going on at times is because everything can kind of mush together like soup. But because of having the energy of Virgo here, you can be trying to separate the ingredients and figure out where that taste is coming from. So there's something going on about like taking something that was kind of a mass before and dissecting it. That can be happening in some way, whether this be physically, whether this be energetically, whether this be psychologically. There's something that's going on here. Having Ace of Swords and having Three of Swords, you can be discovering something that you weren't aware of before, and seeing like you can actually be getting to the root of a problem here that you didn't know was going on. Because also too, when we start with the moon, this can be about stuff that we're holding on to unconsciously. So it can be like mystery stuff that we're not aware of, what's hidden, what we've kind of hidden away from ourselves unconsciously. And now can be a time when you're kind of digging this up and pulling this up. This can also have to do with emotions within our relationships and like attachment styles and stuff, you know, because Pisces can be connected with like codependency and stuff, like a lack of boundaries. So there can be stuff about boundaries that are coming up too. And you can even see how like maybe unconsciously something was going on that you can be becoming aware of that was maybe opposing something now that you want. So maybe you're becoming aware of something that you want, and maybe you're like unconsciously, I've been like blocking myself from this exact thing. So there can be a big realization here. You know, Pisces can also be connected with sabotage as well. Just throwing like signifiers that are connected with Pisces out there, because it can be a whole bunch of different things. But I see this being connected with some realization that's being made. But having that energy of Pisces there can be something that you were not aware of before consciously, that then is coming into your conscious awareness only because you're investigating, Hermit, about this. And this can even be about like something that you'd been doing with that Seven of Pentacles there, where you're like, I didn't even realize that like this was doing that, or that was having an impact on this. And you can be realizing where this is coming from. I see this as energy that most likely you're going to purge, you're going to release this in some way, because this is a type of chip on your shoulder that you do not want to be carrying, because it can be poisoning you. Pisces is connected with poisons, and Virgo can be the antidote to something like that. Like Virgo's connected with medicine and medication. So you can be like realizing what's going to be the antidote to something that you had taken on. And Pisces is also connected with absorbing things too. So this can be something like spiritually, energetically, that you absorbed, that now with Virgo here, you can be having a realization about this. And then you can even be seeing how certain actions that you've been doing with the Seven of Pentacles had been like allowing this energetically to be building within you, within your life in some way. And now can be a realization about that, where you're like, I didn't even know that that was going on, that was still staying with me, that was still stuck with me. But now that you're realizing this, it's something that you can just be left with a profound understanding of, that you could have been like, I didn't even know that that was inside me, I didn't even know that I was carrying that, I didn't even know that that was going on within my head. So yeah, you can be seeing, there can be something about like maybe you weren't forgiving yourself for something. So there can be themes about forgiveness, there can be themes about compassion, there can be themes about anger, fear, anxiety, conflict resolution, oppositions. This can even be too, like maybe you're realizing something that you want that's buried very deeply that you don't let yourself connect with. It's, you know what this energy kind of reminds me of? It's like when somebody's like attracted to another person, and so they'll be like a bully towards that person because they like have some like prejudice or like hang-ups about that, when really there's like a fixation and attraction on that energy. So there can be something going on, and it doesn't have to be centered around a person. This can be like something that you want to connect with. There can be a realization about this, but it can be something that was kind of buried deeply, because maybe there's a feeling. I'm looking at the moon, I'm looking at Nine of Cups, I'm looking at King of Swords, and then I'm looking at Five of Swords. You can realize that, sorry about the noise guys, if the camera's picking it up, it'll go away momentarily. There can be something that you're picking up on and something that you're realizing that has to do with a very deep desire of yours. Having moon and having Nine of Cups can be like something very, very, very deeply that holds deep significance and meaning to you, that you can want a whole lot, that can really resonate with you, that you can really want to connect with. Something you want to do, something that you want to say, something that you're realizing. But having Five of Swords can be where you don't let yourself for some reason. And usually with the Five of Swords, it can be because of like some type of perceived judgment. Because Five of Swords energy can be when we feel like we're going to be shunned away, or we're going to be dismissed, or we're going to be ostracized. I'm getting that specifically. We're going to be ostracized for some reason. So it can be a lack of self-acceptance about something. So yeah, there can be like something that you're realizing, I actually want this very badly. And with what you can also be seeing too is how you have not been connecting with that because of some type of like fear. It can be like self-hatred. It can be like fear of being ostracized in some way, like cast out in some way. Because I think Five of Swords can be a lack of a feeling of belonging, or like if I do this thing that I want to do, there are going to be consequences that then have me feeling threatened, so I go into survival mode and then I repress this. So this can be something that was deeply repressed that now is actually surfacing and coming up. Some of you, this can even be linked to like your spirituality and stuff. Can be something like that. There can be like a link with mental health that's also connected with this, or like health in general that's connected with this. I see that you're getting to the point of a realization here. So something can like clear the way, something is being cleared out now, and then you're just left with a full understanding. This can also be something that like your soul wants to connect to, but in your head you'd been like, no, we're not allowed to do that for some reason. There had been like something going on. The reasons that I said before, you know, this can be something that like you've been in some sort of survival mode over this, and so it's gotten repressed in some way. But then you can like be mad at yourself because it's something that you want to connect with, but then you're like not allowing yourself to. So it could just be something overall that you end up unwrapping this, and it's like this a long trail of something, of like, it feels like thoughts or something like that this is connected to, that you can be going into. But yeah, overall I'd say this can be something that you're actually attracted to, that you could have been pushing away, and it seems like of that nature in some way. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else. This can even be something that like really like very much in private you would like sneak a glance at something, but if there were like the idea of like anybody else's like awareness being there, like you wouldn't even like dare to look in the direction of something. And for some of you guys too, this can like be about relationships as well. You know, maybe something happened, you like got really hurt, and maybe you've been like pushing connection away. Because I do see something about connection being here. Connection resonance. You can have been maybe not open, and you could have been like pushing things away. Feels like in the heart, things being pushed away, opportunities being pushed away because of not wanting to like relive some experience of pain. But then the pushing away could have been happening, I feel like, less deliberately, with us starting with the moon. So it can be pain that you didn't realize you were carrying with you, that has been kind of hanging over your head. And then you can be realizing that this has been blocking you from something that you want, and you can be working through this to the point where you feel like you're clearing this energy out now, and what you can be left with is seeing some like leftover pain from some situation, this like leftover like survival mode that you've been in, that for some of you guys it's like been making you sick in some way. Something like that, or like feeling unwell, or there's been some like mysterious thing that's been going on that you're like, what is the root of this? And this has been what's at the root of it. But yeah, it could have been something that like unconsciously you were kind of hiding from yourself, because then you're going to be removing that defense mechanism. This looks like heart chakra work that's being done. This can also be where you see Five of Swords can come down to still being in survival mode about something, resentment that you're holding on to, a lack of forgiveness, a lack of acceptance, a problem with something. It's going to be like things of that nature. Feeling like you still have to like self-protect. It's something like that. So, and you know what, this also is connected with autoimmune, right? It's like the defenses going up, and then having stuff react to other things within the body that we don't need to have those defenses towards, because there's this feeling of like, who's the enemy and what's gonna hurt me, like this type of thing. So yeah, there can be something like this that's happening, and like definitely health can be related to it overall, but it's connected with something energetically that's been happening within you. All right, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting and tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.